rankings. Be honest. If you know boxing, be honest. There's levels.
And it shows, bro. It shows.
He's very sharp. That's all I can.
Dangerous.
Very dangerous. He don't look like he's a 46.
He looks like he's 36 or 26.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis was shocked after watching Manny Pacquiao's intense training for the Barrios fight. Even at his age, Pacquiao is still incredibly fast and powerful, looking like a beast in the gym. His fast footwork and sharp punches show that he's not finished yet and is ready to take over the ring again. Manny Pacquiao's teammates shared that during sparring, he looked just as fast and powerful as ever. They said he's not slowing down at all and still trains like he's in his prime. One teammate mentioned that Manny went 8 tough rounds without getting tired, keeping his speed, power, and accuracy the whole time. His moves were sharp, and his punches landed clean. Everyone was surprised by how fresh he stayed, even after hard training. They said Manny isn't just keeping up, he's leading the way and showing he's still got it.
Everybody is surprised, so it's gonna be a good fight. Yeah?
What's the most impressive? His speed, his power, his footwork?
It's everything, because you don't see him slow down. People say he's slowing down, but he's not. I mean, that's where you're exactly going to be surprised, because he's sharp, really, to be honest with you. He's very, very sharp. That's why I don't want to say anything else, but...
No, leave it at that.
You know,
but how?
I live it that way, but...
Okay, so let me ask you this. In 11 days, he steps into the ring at the MGM in Las Vegas to fight Mario Barrios.
Yeah.
How does the fight end?
There's a chance of knockout.
Manny,
I can see that.
You can see a knockout?
I'm not going to say what round, but...
Just that Manny wins either way, knockout or decision.
Yeah. I don't think decision, maybe. But decision is kind of... I don't know if it's going to distance, really. Because the way
Manny's that
see
explosive.
Everything is... I don't know.
Okay, now let's talk about his son, Jim, for a second. How talented is his son?
He's a very good fighter. You know, he's going
good power.
there.
I've seen him knock people out.
Yeah, he's but power. You know, but right now he's still you know, we want him to grow more. You know, so to be ready. Actually, he's ready already. So we just want it to working in silence. You know, so we keep it that way. Yeah.
What's your message to all Pacquiao fans who are watching this, who are getting ready, who are excited for Manny Pacquiao Barrios, July 19, Las Vegas?
Tune in to this coming fight, because it's gonna be a very good fight.
Don't go to the kitchen. Don't go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Don't look at your phone.
Yes,
because it can happen.
Focus on that, because I know Mario Barrios also is training hard too. Manny also, he trained like there's no tomorrow.
Roy Jones Jr. said he fully believes Manny Pacquiao can win another world title in his comeback. Even though some people worry about his age and time away from the ring, Jones thinks Pacquiao's hard work, experience, and strong spirit make him different. He called Pacquiao one of the few athletes who can beat the odds and still compete at the top. Jones also said the hunger Pacquiao shows in training proves he's not coming back just for attention. He's coming back to truly fight.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez, because that's not the same Pacquiao.
Of course.
That's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game.
Yeah, of course.
But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever.
Of course.
When that's not how that goes. That's not reality. But in the business world, it is, because look how much money he made.
Here we go. Who's greater than me?
I said, Sugar Ray Robinson. He said, Sugar Ray Robinson, how many wins he got? I said, he got like over 150 wins. He stopped for a minute. He said, but who got more championship titles, me or him? I said, hold on, Floyd. He said, answer the question. I said, Floyd, there's more titles now than then. There was just one then. That's no fair. Answer the question. I said, okay, you. Do I not have 28 titles? And I was just like, I don't know. He said, oh, you're supposed to be the expert. But the reason why I said that is because there's minor and major titles. Who else greater than me? I said Henry Armstrong, Roberto Duran. He said, oh my God. He said, you said something about Pacquiao. Yeah, I said, I think you'll beat Pacquiao every day of the week, but I think he had a greater career. He said, you ain't think Pacquiao was on steroids? I said, he didn't fail any tests, Floyd. He said, look at me in my eyes. I can't say, man, he didn't fail. He said, oh man, you faked. I saw that as a initiation. This is what you about to get. Nobody's greater than Floyd. My thing is, he should feel that way, but you can't expect everybody to feel that you're the greatest, Floyd.
Mario Barrios made it clear that while he respects Manny Pacquiao outside the ring, that respect won't matter on fight night. He knows Pacquiao is a legend, but in the ring, he sees him only as a challenger trying to take his belt. Barrios said he will treat Pacquiao like any other opponent and won't let emotions or Pacquiao's past change how he fights. His words show he's taking this fight seriously and is fully focused on defending his title.
Ever since the fight was announced, I think initially I was kind of just like shocked. Like, man, dude, like Pacquiao wants to fight me, right? He wants to fight me for my title. I think for the sport of boxing and I think just sports in general, like Manny is that name. When you think about boxing, right? He's somebody that comes to mind. At least for me, like I've been watching him since I was. Again, since my earliest memories of boxing, Manny has been a name that's like, okay, like he's the man. And yeah, now he wants to come out of retirement. He wants to fight me for my title. I can't look at it as anything other than, it's just another opponent trying to take what's mine. He's outside the ring. I have, nothing but respect for him, nothing but respect for everything he's accomplished. For the person he is, everything he does, for his country and more. But as soon as we step in the ring, he's in there trying to take what's mine.
I'm not training with the mentality, that I'm getting ready, to fight an icon, to fight a legend. At the end of the day, he's just another man, trying to fight for my title. He's going in there trying to, take my title, and I got to do whatever it takes to make sure he does.
Brian Mendoza praised Pacquiao's greatness, but also pointed out that age could affect his performance in this fight. He said that no matter how good a fighter is, time catches up with everyone. Mendoza feels Pacquiao still has speed and sharp instincts, but physical limits might show in the later rounds. He added that while fans respect Pacquiao's comeback, they should also understand that older fighters often struggle to stay at their best during long, tough fights.
Say that before the interview.
I don't. This is an unbiased opinion.
Man, I'm looking forward to it, even just as a boxing fan, obviously coming up, it was always, seeing Pacquiao's fights and stuff, and now to see the homie, going up against him like that, it's wild, man. It's a wild feeling. I know you're more so for him, but nah, man, I think at the end of the day, I feel like, the age will show up in the fight. I think at first, he's had people talk about the layoff, but it's also a rest for someone at that age. So I feel like he's going to be rested. I feel like we might see, hints of little old Manny, no pun intended, but old Manny. Little bits of flashes of that in there, but I think at the end of the day, man, Mario's super sharp. This is the sharpest I've ever seen him, this far in camp. I'm super excited, bro, and he's gonna put on a great show. I still kind of lean towards like a decision, but it's Mario's way. If there is a stoppage, I think it'll be in like the second half. Like I said, because I think that's really when the age is gonna show, because you can look good in the gym, man, but once those bright lights are on you, anything that's wrong will come out. So as much of a legend man he is, I think, he bit off a little more than he can chew with Barrios.
Even though some people doubt him because of his age, many fans still believe Pacquiao has the skills and ring smarts to compete. His recent training videos have brought back hope, with supporters saying he still looks strong and explosive enough to fight younger opponents. They believe his unique style, high energy, and never-give-up attitude have always been his biggest strengths. And those don't just go away with age. The excitement around his return comes from the belief in his ability to adjust and his strong will to win.
Manny Pacquiao returns to the ring against a young fighter, champion WBC, Mario Barrios. How do you see that fight playing out?
Barrios is a tall guy, and he's a tough guy. You know, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because Pacquiao is a champion, the holder of the records of 8 divisions, and he knows how to fight, he knows how to win, so you always got to give it that opportunity for him to show up. And now whoever shows up in that ring, whether it's a desire to win or just try to be there, that's a question that we have to see. But I believe that he has the ability to do something to win the fight against Barrios.
Experts believe Pacquiao's best chance to win is by starting the fight strong and using a smart, aggressive style from the beginning. Since he might get tired in the later rounds, they suggest he should take control early and use his speed to put pressure on Barrios. By doing this, Pacquiao can build confidence and avoid getting worn out. The main idea is to take advantage of Barrios being slow to adjust, while staying away from risky exchanges that could drain his energy.
I was talking to somebody about Manny coming back fighting Mario Barrios.
Ouch.
And this was the analogy I gave. Your timing is just, it slows down. That's time. Time slows you down. And so to me, I think Manny has to come out very strong, very fast in the first couple of rounds because his gas tank ain't what it used to be. At 46 years old, you come out and let's just say hypothetically your gas is half full at 46 years old. I'd rather try to use that half tank
when I got something
in 2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And really get off on this kid because he has the kind of style. Styles make fights. He's got the perfect style for Manny to do what he do. But the further that fight goes, the more that's gonna go down. He ain't young no more when it does this. It ain't gonna do this no more. It ain't gonna go down and then come back up. He not gonna create space, take a deep breath, and that thing shoot up the way it used to. He ain't gonna do that, you know what I mean?
Some people think Barrios' defensive style might not work well against Pacquiao's non-stop attacks. They believe Pacquiao can break through his guard by using quick combos and smart angles. Critics say Barrios has some gaps in his defense that a clever fighter like Pacquiao can take advantage of. If Pacquiao stays focused and avoids getting hit early, he could give Barrios a lot of problems in the fight.
Pacquiao Barrios, bro. Who do you like?
It's hard to know, at the age of Pacquiao, what we're going to get from him, But I'll tell you this. Depending on his conditioning, right? Depending on how much he can pop in on that instep that he brought to me, that notorious fast instep. If he can pop in that instep and if Pacquiao can get in, I know he can hurt Mario Barrios. Defense of Mario Barrios is still suspect. He is willing to get caught. You can catch the kid. He's not hard to find.
People still question Barrios' level, especially since he's been stopped by fighters who may not have the power and speed Pacquiao still has. Experts say that while Barrios is a good fighter, he hasn't really proven himself against top-level opponents. This could give Pacquiao a chance to take control, especially if he fights at a fast pace and makes Barrios uncomfortable. Many believe Pacquiao can win this fight if he stays focused and sticks to a smart game plan.
Are you cool with Pacquiao against Mario Barrios?
I am. I'm cool with it. If I was cool with Manny Pacquiao coming back and fighting Keith Thurman, I'm definitely going to be cool with this one. Barrios is not a puncher. Thurman was one of the biggest punchers in boxing. I think he's going to be just fine with Mario Barrios, we know what he is on the top level. He comes up short. He's been stopped by fighters that are less than Manny Pacquiao, Tank Davis. So I like this fight. I think he's not going to be an overwhelming favorite, but I think it'll be a 50-50 fight, regardless of his inactivity and age. His explosiveness, even at this age, his greatness, and the fact that you can never know what Barrios you're going to get. And yeah, man, I like this fight. Why not? Nostalgia, marketable. Everyone will be behind him. It'll be internationally successful. I'm in.
How are you comparing Pacquiao coming back this summer at 46 after not fighting in 5 years to Pacquiao in 2019 fighting Keith Thurman which came after back-to-back wins over Lucas Batiste and Adrian Broner. Those two scenarios could not be more different.
Some experts say that if age wasn't a factor, Pacquiao would clearly be the favorite. Even now, they believe his skills and boxing knowledge are still much better than most. They think he has a good chance if he can bring back the fast footwork and high punch volume he was known for. A big reason for the excitement around his comeback is how sharp he looks in training and sparring. People close to him say he's moving really well, throwing strong combos and going many rounds without getting tired. He also seems very focused and ready.
So former 8 division world champion, now Hall of Famer, Manny Pacquiao is now gearing up to take on welterweight champion Mario Barrios. And this is going to be an interesting fight. Now, I see a lot of people talking about Pacquiao saying that he's a former shell of himself, which he probably is. But make no mistake, 60% Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat on a lot of these young guys. Now, people are talking about Mario Barrios because he beat Udonis Ugas, someone who beat Manny Pacquiao last time out. But styles make fights, and this training footage of Manny Pacquiao training, I don't know. I think Barrios might be in for a long night, especially given his last time out with Ramos.
He ain't lying.
Paulie Malignaggi shared his concern about whether Pacquiao can stay strong through the whole fight. He agrees that Pacquiao has trained at a high level, but says that with age, the body doesn't recover the same way. Malignaggi thinks even the best older fighters often struggle in the later rounds when stamina and leg strength matter most. Still, he admits Pacquiao is a special fighter who might be able to push past these age-related challenges.
What do you think about, Manny's decision and obviously getting thrown right into a title shot?
When you get older, your legs are not the same. You may have very good legs for a few rounds, but as you drag out a long fight, your legs start to betray you. I felt that later in my career. I would get into shape, but now all of a sudden, around 10, 11, 12, my legs are dragging ass, bro. Pacquiao, having not fought in a while, 46 years old. A lot of tough fights, a lot of wear and tear on Manny Pacquiao. But Manny had 70-plus pro fights. And he wasn't a defensive specialist. A lot of impact, a lot of back and forth impact. He's 46. He had a lot of heavy wear and tear into his late 30s and early 40s. So how are his legs going to be? That's my biggest thing, because I think, Manny was a range-changing fighter. He was he was that style, in and out. He's not a pocket guy. And an in-and-out guy needs his legs, and needs his legs the whole fight. Unless he lands something big. I will say, I think Mario Barrios. I think he sucks.
Barrios has pointed out that many great fighters have failed when trying to beat time, and he thinks Pacquiao could face the same result, especially if the fight goes into the later rounds. He believes his youth and stamina give him an advantage, and history shows that older fighters can get caught off guard. Some people also think Pacquiao may not have the same knockout power he once had. While he can still land clean punches, they say Barrios might be able to take them because of his strength and age. They believe Pacquiao will need more than just good timing. He'll need real power to finish the fight early.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. Manny Pacquiao will actually be fighting Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title. If this man comes back and beats Barrios, which, if I'm being totally honest, I don't think he's winning this fight even remotely. I think he could actually get stopped, in my opinion. It's not because Manny's not great or nothing. He's one of the greatest of all time. You could argue that he is the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? 8th division champion. But he's just too old, man. This man is 46 years of age. If he wins this fight, he ties Bernard Hopkins' record for the oldest champion in boxing. That would be crazy. But if I'm being honest, I just don't see him winning. I see him getting stopped, dropped and stopped, if I'm being honest. He is having trouble with Ampo, bro. And Ampo not even a boxer. He a kickboxer. And, yeah, I just don't think he'll, I just think he's too old, if I'm being honest. I just think he's too old to win the title. But let me know what y'all think down below, man.
Barrios' trainer shared an interesting view on Pacquiao's comeback, saying people shouldn't assume his time away from the ring is a weakness. He believes Pacquiao may have been quietly training the whole time and could actually be more dangerous now because his body is rested and fully recovered, which is rare in boxing. The trainer feels Pacquiao's sharpness shows he never really left the sport. While many fans are excited to see him return, some think this fight shouldn't have been made. Critics say bringing retired legends back just for big paydays can hurt their legacy. They believe Pacquiao has already proven everything and that fighting a younger, active opponent might put his historic career at risk.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title is being targeted for late July in either San Antonio or Las Vegas on Amazon Prime. And Pacquiao is currently in a Senate campaign in the Philippines in May, but after that he wants to return in the summer for a world title and try to break his own record as the oldest welterweight champion at 46 years old. Now, I have every issue in the world with this. You know, Manny Pacquiao, he's my favorite fighter of all time, but this is just not great for boxing. Pacquiao's last fight was 4 years ago in 2021 against Jordanis Ugas, and in that fight, he looked a lot slower, not as explosive, and he got outboxed. And then last year when he was targeting the Barrios fight, he had an exhibition against a kickboxer, Rukia Anpo first, and he looked even slower and even more hittable in that fight. You know, I don't think Pacquiao should be sanctioned to fight a world title fight at 46 years old, and not that Barrios is some scary knockout artist or a pound-for-pound level talent. You know, if there's one champ at 147 that Pacquiao could upset, it would be Barrios. But in all likelihood, Barrios being the younger, bigger guy, he's just going to beat Manny for 12 rounds, probably stop him late. So I just don't want to see the fight. You know, Pacquiao's accomplished everything in the sport. He really doesn't need another fight at 46.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay informed. Stay tuned for more updates, and let's keep our news accurate.